Good morning, everyone. Thanks for joining our webinar today. We're excited to show you the product launch of a new solution we've created for Sharewall software and Ivanti Neurons for ITSM. It's a Smartbot feature. We hope you're going to be excited about it. Today's presenter is Eric Kruger, who is the product owner and specialist on our side. He'll be walking you through the solution and what we've built. Today's session will be recorded, and we'll be sharing that out next week after we've had a chance to convert the video. So if you want to review it, share it with anyone on your team, we will be making that available. If you have questions as we're going through, please feel free to put those in the chat session. I'll be monitoring questions there, and Eric will pause briefly from time to time, and we'll address questions as we go through, and we'll open it up to Q&A at the end. For anyone who may not yet be familiar with StrataCom, we're an ITSM consulting company. We were founded in '97, and we've always specialized in an enterprise ITSM, working with a variety of vendors through the years, HP, BMC, Cherwell, now Ivanti, our practice is focused on. We do consulting coast to coast, but recently we started developing solutions for Sharewall and Ivanti ITSM as well, just based on holes we found in the solution sets and based on popular customer demand. The first solution we developed was a mobile app, which you may have seen from our team. Kanban Boards were next, and the newest product we're launching here today is the Smartbot solution. If you have any questions about StrataCom, reach out to us at any time if we can ever help with this or services requests. And with that, I'm going to turn it over to Eric to jump into our solutions today.
Okay, thanks, Laura. I've been dutifully letting people in as you were talking, so
thank you.
I'm going to start with a slideshow that we can send out. I kind of like to do that, so you have something that you can review afterwards before we get the video out there. So why would you want to use a SmartBot? We're seeing adoption of SmartBots kind of across the board, but basically to reduce calls to your service desk. So the SmartBot is for the customer, like what you would call a customer. It would also work for technicians, but generally you're going to get a SmartBot for technicians, for customers. You can deliver beyond IT service management for groups like HR and facilities. So the bot plugs into basically any object in Ivanti Sharewall, and use the programs your staff's already using on a daily basis, like Microsoft Teams. So a lot of companies like us, we use Teams every day. So all of our staff is in Teams, and it's just a handy way to integrate with Sharewell. So how do we deliver SmartBot? So we have a Microsoft Teams bot that we built. And all of the logic, all of the interaction with Sharewell is built on our existing Ivanti Sharewell integration platform that already supports our native mobile, our Kanban, our Gantt chart functionality. So, and I'm actually going to show you, I'm going to take like 5 minutes and show that first before the bot, just so you can get an idea. I see some people on here are customers or have looked at our other products, so I was going to do a quick review of those. So incidents and requests or changes are created and updated in real time based on interactions with the customer via the bot. And codeless administration allows for easy configuration. So if you're a Sharewell admin, you'll be able to program this bot to interact with Sharewell. It's really easy. If you've got one of our other products, the interaction with Sharewell essentially works the same way in our admin tool. So you can build forms, and in this case, we're building bot forms instead of like Kanban forms or native mobile forms. So we're building bot forms and bot queries, but it's the same admin interface, so really easy to program. And there's a couple additional pieces. The bot's quite a bit more complex than our other, just in the way that we have the pieces put together. So you can have conversations with the SmartBot, and it's looking into Sharewell for that. So we're using Microsoft Lewis AI technology. So that takes casual conversation and turns that into keywords, and it can pull down records based on keywords then. So the best results based on the natural language query are returned to the user. So for example, here I want to order a laptop for my home office, and the bot comes back and says, what kind of laptop do you want? With the SmartBot, we're shipping an object as a map called topics So topics are the entry point for the bot. They're actually how you program the bot. You add a topic to Sharewell, and the bot looks at those topics. So I've got some examples of topics over on the right side, like order a laptop and open incidents. And they go from left to right. The topic it was pretty long, but you can see in the topic, we're just telling the bot what to do, and the right panel, you put in example sentences for Lewis to train Lewis to find this topic. So Lewis finds the topic, hands it off to the bot runs the action that's in the topic. And it can be an action, a workflow. I'll kind of show you a couple of examples of that. So we'll ship with the common topics, open incidents, but a lot of them are going to need to be created because a lot of topics will be from like your knowledge base articles, your service catalog entries, and you'll want to update those probably with example sentences to match what the terminology in your company is or how people talk. You may put IT terminology in there and then also customer terminology, and then all gets wrapped up and sent up to Lewis to find these topics. And you can manage the topics in like StrataCom's Kanban Boards or SmartGrid or in the Sharewell topic map, like right from Sharewell. So these views are just managing it in like our grid, basically our skinny client in Sharewell. You can create topics for the Smartbot for knowledge-based articles and service catalog entries, and really anything else that you have. So if you've got something in your Sharewell system that you would want to publish out, some sort of object that you would want to publish out, it's really easy for us to create a one-step to automatically create those topics from that object. So for example, this is a knowledge-based article, a knowledge base, and we've just got an action I've highlighted over on the right, create Smartbot topic. That will actually create the topic in our system. You don't have to do anything else except for maybe update example sentences if you feel like you want to put some more variables about how people would search for that. So you can add example sentences. Otherwise, it'll just create the topic, and that'll get uploaded to Lewis, and the Smartbot will work on that. And there is a process to actually train Lewis. So you can create a bunch of topics and then go in and upload all those to Microsoft's AI engine. So they won't actually be active until you train Lewis with the new topics. And actually you'll get like, we call it a stage and a production instance of Lewis. So you can actually upload them and publish in the stage and do some testing to see what it returns. Like if you type in an example sentence, does it return the right result? So then you can kind of tweak your example sentences. The Smartbot has a workflow editor. So if you do want to do more workflow, and there's a couple different places we do workflow, the home screen to just kind of set that up. And then I've got a couple examples of workflow I'll walk you through, but it's got a really simple drag and drop workflow editor where you can ask user questions. I would say most of your interactions probably aren't going to be workflow related. They're probably going to be a little more straightforward, but it's possible it might have a workflow related workflow. And each topic can have its own workflow too. So if you've got a topic like a troubleshooting topic, you can build a workflow for that and ask users questions and walk them through that. So I just wanted to say if you've got questions throughout the demo or through the rest of the slideshow, just put them in chat and Laura will kind of let me know if there's questions, and I will answer them during breaks, or I'll let Laura break in. So just some of the common use cases for Smartbot, like I need a laptop. So the Smartbot presents the customer with selection criteria required to create the request. The request is created in real time. Basically, as soon as they click submit, it's created in Sharewell. And then any configured workflows such as tasks and approvals, those get generated in Sharewell, just like if you created the ticket in Sharewell. I need access to an application. The customer just answers some basic questions and the appropriate request is created. I need a password reset. You can create a password reset for a user, which is processed in Sharewell. So the important thing to remember about these use cases is the Smartbot is interacting with Sharewell. So I know there's a lot of other Smartbots out there that are really complex and expensive that can do all sorts of integrations with all sorts of password reset tools and things like that. And we're really leveraging Ivanti Sharewell to do that integration. So you'll interact with Sharewell or Ivanti ITSM, and if you want a password reset, that automation needs to be in Sharewell. So that's an important point, but our bot, it's priced accordingly. So from the other bots I've been looking at, it's a lot less expensive because we don't have all those integration capabilities. And I don't think we need them. I think anything that you could integrate from a bot, you could do from Sharewell or Ivanti. So I think we're we're just looking for customers that want to do that type of automation in their ITSM tool. So I need access to an application. My address changed. I got married. I had a child, or I could ticket, leave of health. So any type of ticket that you're already submitting through Sharewall, you could submit through this bot. Like my chair is broken, a light bulb was out, key card is not working, and it will create the correctly categorized work order for that. And that's just because you're setting up these topics to point to specific actions where that the information is already templated in. It'll go to the right group. You can give it the right priority, give it the right service category, subcategory. Or I need an answer from the knowledge base, and the Smartbot will search the published knowledge base articles and present the results to the user. So I'll demo this. I'm gonna quick run through our native mobile Kanban boards and actionable messages. They're all built on the same platform as Smartbot, at least the integration piece to Sharewall. So I just want to show people how that works and a couple new things we've got for there. And then I'll walk through like how do you start with this Smartbot, just start typing to communicate with the bot. And then the Smartbot can understand what the user wants. And it will return either, so these are kind of the things that we're returning, like a list of tickets, a knowledge base article, which is basically a specific record in Sharewall, so it can search for very specific records in Sharewall. A quick answer, which is not actually stored in anywhere else in Sharewall, but in the topic table. So that's going to be something more like, what's the address of the help desk or something like that. So maybe you don't have a knowledge base article for it. What we can do these quick answers for the bot that are just stored in the topic. You can do a workflow or complex troubleshooting steps and an interface to open a ticket in Sharewall. Yeah, that didn't all fit, but you can create complex workflows suitable for helping users troubleshoot issues too. So we'll kind of go over what that workflow looks like. I just wanted to start with taking a look at some of the other products and what this is built in. So I'm just going to kind of shrink this up into phone size. And the interesting thing about our native mobile client, you can download the native mobile client from the iOS or Android App Store and run it there, or it runs on a desktop. So I'll kind of show you both. This is more of the phone form factor right now that I'm showing for native mobile. And it's really typical. Go in, look at my open incidents and service requests, tap on it, and do some actions, right? If I want to add a note. Now we'll see a lot of these same things in the bot, and that's because built on the same framework, we kind of have the same paradigm for everything. So, I'm going to remove the pending status from this incident and resolve it. So just really simple, incident, change, approval, work on a mobile phone. So, right, if I want to create a ticket on my mobile phone, it's got some of the nice type ahead functionality. Let's go submit incident. Just going to pick an incident, and you can see I've got the specifics for the incident. So this all runs on the phone. Yeah, Connor set that up this morning. So then this also runs just on a desktop. So we call this kind of our skinny client or thin client for Sharewall. Has the same type of interface. It's just a faster, get your work done type of client in Sharewall. So that was kind of our first product that came out. Then we came out with these Kanban boards, which is just another view of Sharewall. And I'll just show you kind of couple of the common Kanban boards. So I've got my open incidents and requests Kanban board, which just shows everything to me. If I want to move this, this would probably start out in assigned. And then we go to in progress. So really easy drag and drop. You can see we've got the actions here on the Kanban board. Add a note there. The interface to view the records is the same. It's kind of our skinny client, so we get the same kind of functionality here with the actions and related tasks. And something new we added was the unified boards. So we've got unified my tickets. So you can see here, these are both approvals. This is a task. These are incidents, and they're all on the same board. So, and if I want to We also added tag filtering. So if I just wanted to look at the approvals, I can filter down to that. If I want to look at approvals and incidents, I can filter that, or I can just get rid of these. And, it's got really nice. So because I've got the approve column on here, I can approve these. But if I try to approve a task, which you can't really do, it just tells you you can't, right? Or if I take an approval and I try to resolve it, tells me I can't because it's not mapped. So something we added to Kanban boards, kind of this unified board. And you could put you could have tasks, project tasks, incidents, changes, problems, and anything you can think of, you can combine onto one board. Okay, and the last thing I kind of wanted to show you, still built on the same framework, is a couple of these are these action cards. And this kind of came out our bot development, but so this is actually, if you're an existing customer, you do have right now the capability to create these action cards and send them via email through our framework. So I actually have a document that I can send people on how that's done. Most of the setup is done on the Office 365 side. Only works in Outlook, but you can answer a survey in here. So rate the service back for your technician. Check if you want to contact me. And the nice thing about these action cards is you can run it right from the email. So I run email in Office 365 web, but this will work from the email client. It'll work from Outlook on your phone. It really works on any device using Outlook. And I can just submit this from here, and your response has been received. I can never resubmit that survey because once it's done in here, it's done. I can't forward it on to anybody. It won't work if you forward it. So Microsoft's got some really cool things it's done there. This is an approve or deny the change. So this is just an email that goes out. If I want to see the change information, I just whip this one up really quick. But I can put all the change information down here. I've just got the description, but we could add a lot more. And then you can approve or deny right from this email. So it doesn't send another email back in. It doesn't jump out to another web page or anything. It literally runs the approval through our Sharewall framework and back into Sharewell. So something cool that came out. So let's get into this bot. I'm going to pull this bot up and we'll take a look at it. Probably don't want this full screen. Let me drag this over. So this is our Smartbot. So this is actually I've got the Smartbot pinned. You can start a conversation with it. Sharewall bot, you can do it that way. I'm just going to go into here and I've got this pin. So the way that you can start communicating with the bot, we can also have, I don't know if you've seen those, I just don't have it set up in here, but the little options that can drop up in here when you click. I probably should have dropped those in there. But if I just type in something like help, I'm going to get this initial help screen. So this is basically our fallback screen. So if we don't have a topic in the system that matches what the user types in, they'll get this help screen back basically, which is kind of the common, you can put the most common things that you want onto the help screen. So if I need a password reset, for example, I can just type in password, or I can just tap or click on the password reset. And then, so this is part of our workflow editor. So if you want to walk someone through like a workflow, you can do that, or I'll show you a different way to do it also, where you just do it on a single screen. But if you want to do a simple workflow where you're kind of questioning the user, asking what they want, what kind of password reset do you want? I want an Active Directory password reset. And then from there, we can give them the right, so the right action, right? So this is the Active Directory password reset screen. So I'm going to fill this out. I'm going to put in a location, an organization, and my user ID. And then, of course, this screen will look however you want it to look. This is really just a generic demo screen. It'll create that ticket and it'll create this. And one of the options we're working on is to next is to actually just send back the card of the created record. And that can either be sent back from Sharewell, so we have an API call back into the bot to send the card, or the bot can be configured to set up a card. So that'll be released soon. So here I've got this AD password reset. And if I go look in Sharewell, I've got a little query here that's running all incidents created today. Here's the ticket that was created in Sharewell. So, and I try to put everything kind of on one screen so it's easy to see, but you can see the bot knows who I am. So it automatically put in my name. Call source, I added a call source called Smartbot for this, put it in. Here's the description. We've got a service classification, a priority, an assigned team, so it gets assigned to this team. I've got some just fields over here. I've been throwing data in, could be in specifics or in a field. But so that basically shows up in Sharewell immediately. So now, if I go back, if I want to if I just start typing in for a reset, like I need a password reset. Now we have a couple options from the topic. We can either run that workflow that I just ran, or we can run just the password reset action. And I've set up to run the password reset action. So this is a different action than actually the Active Directory, and it's different than the workflow. And the only real difference is instead of walking them through, I just ask them what type of active or what type of password reset they want. This may or may not work depending on how deep you need to go. We can do some things with filling out different fields based upon what you pick in there. The card layout's a little bit different because it's not dynamic, but you can show hide fields based on, or I guess it is dynamic. You can show hide fields based on what's entered into here. But I can submit that, and now I've got another ticket. So now if I check my help, one of my main core help things is to see my open tickets or my open incidents. So I can just click on that to see my open incidents. And here are the 2 incidents that I just opened. So I cleaned up my open incidents for this demo. I can also just type in like, I want to see my open incidents or anything kind of close to that. And Lewis will come back. Now I've got this nice little kind of debugger in here just for these demos and so we can see, but Lewis is telling us, hey, the open incidents topic is the top topic. It's 85% that this is what the user wants. They want to see their open incidents. So this card that's returned, if you're familiar with our existing framework, the card is just it works exactly like the view screen for like native mobile or Kanban. So you just check the fields that you want and you move them around in the order that you want on the card. And unlike native mobile or Kanban, we don't really have a deeper dive into this card where you can see more information. You put all the information you want right on this. So like the change approval, we can add buttons to show more information. Like if you want to see the journal, we can add a view journal information so that the card's not so huge right from the start. But I can kind of scroll through. Right now, I've only got 2 tickets, and I can scroll through them. And just like in our native mobile and Kanban, we can have actions. Now, native mobile and Kanban are generally technician tools, so you've got a bunch of different actions you want to do. Bot is generally for customers, so you're mostly going to be doing kind of portal type actions, right? So if I want to add a note to this, if I want to add a note, I can do that, and that'll pop in. That'll add it to the ticket. So then if I look at this ticket in Sharewell, yeah, it just happened to update the one I had on the screen. So if I'm in the screen and I'm looking at this person's ticket, I get this almost immediately. I get this reload screen, so I can reload this here and reload the screen. And you can see I've got this journal entry that was added. It says, hey, what's up? All right. So now if I'm the customer and I say, I don't really need this. I want to resolve this ticket. I can resolve it right from here. Like I could do multiple actions from the same card. I can go back to help. I might come back later on and see help. This will actually work. Like if this card is up here, I can resolve this incident. I can come back a week later and click on this and it'll still work. So I go back to see my open incidents. That'll give me the freshest view because these cards are not updated live, right? They sit here, but they're stale data. So yeah, you know what? I'm going to resolve this one. Is this 103? Yeah. Okay. So I'm just going to resolve this one. Hey, enter some closing comments here. Problem. And now it's resolved. So now if I go back into my Sharewell screen, I get this. I can't even drag it over fast enough. Sharewell's telling me already that, hey, this needs to be reloaded. I just go in here and I refresh this. And now I can see it's resolved. So I resolved it from the bot. pretty cool, right? So that's kind of the interaction between the incidents. Okay, so and that's kind of working with, easy working with creating tickets. You can really create any type of tickets that you want in here. This home screen's configurable. What do you want on your home screen? Things like that. So now if we, if we want to do some other things, what if we want to search the knowledge base? Hey, I want to search the knowledge base. Well, this is just running a little simple help in here that says, hey, to search the knowledge base, just start typing, ask the question, and I will do that. One other thing I wanted to show you quick on the open tickets. Go back here, see my open tickets. Yeah, I also added just today before this demo. I thought, what if people want to reopen their incident? So I added that on there. In fact, another customer sent me an email about how to reopen tasks from a Kanban board, and I replied back, and that got me to thinking maybe our bot, you should be able to reopen an incident. So I just quick created a reopen action. I threw it on the incident object for the bot, and I just set it only to show up if it's resolved, right? So it's pretty smart that it doesn't show up on new tickets. You wouldn't want that, but the bot's smart enough to know, hey, I can only reopen resolved tickets. So I put a little note in here. Oops, shouldn't have closed, and we'll go back to reopened. And if I drag this back over, I haven't got the update yet. I think Sharewall checks about every minute. So you can see the next status for this is reopened. There we go. So it just reloaded. So now Sharewall's saying, hey, somebody update this underneath you. And then I've got this note, and so I just added a note here. I didn't really have a reopen reason, I don't think, in this one. I could have added probably a journal entry or something like that, but I just added a note so it'd show up right away on the screen. So yeah, it's reopened now. Next, I can go to begin work if I'm the technician. So you can add actions to that. Literally, once you add the action to the object, the bot will pick that up immediately. So it's looking live into those actions to see. And if you're saying, oh, what if I want to test that action? You'll probably have a test instance of this bot. So you can see I've got a test instance of the bot and a production. And the way I can tell them apart is that I don't have an icon for this one, but that's pointing to my test instance. Okay, so let's look at a couple other things that this bot can do. Yeah, what was I going to do next? Oh yeah, so we're going to just look at some knowledge base articles, some real simple, like, so what if I just have a question I want answered? So like, what are the help desk hours? And Lewis tells me, let's see what Lewis brings back. It says, oh, the closest topic are what are the help desk hours? And it's a simple answer. And remember, simple answers aren't really stored in your knowledge base. They're not an incident. They're just stored as a topic, right? And they're just text. So it's just saying, hey, the help desk is open from 8 to 5. We don't even put it in a card. Now that I look at this, it probably should go into a card so it looks a little nicer. But okay, well, what if I don't type the exact title of what the topic is? What if I typed in something else, like when is the help desk open? What if I type in that? Is Lewis smart enough to go find the same thing? Yep. So what are the help desk hours relates to when is the help desk open? So it had a slightly lower score, so some of the keywords did match, but Lewis still said, hey, this is probably the one that they want. So they say the help desk is open from 8 to 5. All right, and then what if I wanted to see where is the help desk located? See what this bring back. It says, where is the help desk physically located? Okay, the help desk is located at. It's a combination of different addresses that I've actually lived at in Fargo. So what if we said, what if we, how can I get to the help desk? That's what just tells me where it's physically located. Okay, I guess that's good enough. Thanks, Lewis. And some other, if we want to actually pull out of the Sharewall knowledge base, what if I want to, like, how to reset a terminal server? The knowledge base articles that you actually have in your system. Well, I actually have one about reset or log off a terminal user session. Well, what if I searched for how to log off a terminal? All right, I get the same one back because it's good for both. So, so you can see it's kind of hiding here, but Lewis says, hey, this is a really good chance that this is reset or log off a user terminal session. And I've got example sentences in here to kind of catch some of the most common things would type in. What if I saved file with the wrong? And let's see here if that brings back something. Yep, it saved file with the wrong extension. So it's got kind of this thing what to do, and it looks like it's not quite formatted properly in Sharewall, but that's all right. Okay, and so that's searching the knowledge base. If you have a knowledge base article, you can publish it to a topic, and then users can search on it. So Laura, did we have any questions that needed to be answered?
Yeah, we've got quite a few rolling in. So
okay,
why don't we
start? Let's start on them. And if I'm going to show it later on my demo, I've got this little script here so I don't forget anything. And we're actually about a little more than halfway through the bot demo script that I have. So let's shoot some questions.
All right, here we go. We'll start at the top and work our way down. Can it work with other languages?
It can. Yeah, so the topics, whatever you type into the topic record, and let me show you one of these topic records in Sharewell here. This is in our admin tool. So that's kind of a messy view of it. But basically, so this is a topic record. This is in Sharewell. It's a topic record. It supports as many languages as Lewis supports. I don't even know how many that is, but it's a Microsoft service, so I'm guessing it supports all of them. So whatever's typed into the topic, this is what Lewis uses to find this topic record. So if you've got, and right here I've got like 5 example sentences, but we actually can do unlimited. So you could add unlimited example sentences in unlimited languages, and it should be able to find those topics fine. Granted, we haven't tested additional languages yet, but I don't see any reason why it wouldn't work.
Great, thanks. Next question is, will the ticket, or say a password reset, be assigned to a defined team?
Yeah, it can be defined to an assigned team. So if you take a look at some of these tickets, so this is actually a password reset ticket I created from the bot. This is the one I reopened. I assigned it to the Active Directory team. So I've got a team. I don't know why the little thing isn't showing up here, but I've got a team called Active Directory, and I just auto-assigned it to the Active Directory team. So a little poke behind the scenes, if we go in the bot configuration, object, incident, actions, and I've got the 80 password reset. It looks like this. These are the fields the user sees. All the gray ones are the hard-coded fields. So smart classify, service category, subcategory, customer display name. We put that in from the bot. Priority call source, owned by team, and you can hard code as many fields as you want in there, right? So if I look at owned by team, I just hard coded Active Directory as the owned by team in here. So these are the fields. These are the fields that show up so beautifully on that card. And this is what it looks like kind of in the editor. So we take this editor, which is kind of the same editor for our Kanban and native mobile, and we turn that into these nice cards out here. So we've just got a little card generator that we send it through to send them to the bot. All right, Laura, can we get another one?
Yep, we've got a few more.
All right.
Can you use this for creating an incident using natural language, and then the incident gets categorized from the service catalog and assigned to the right team?
Yeah, I will show. So I've got creating tickets next, so we'll go over that when I restart the demo.
Great.
Items.
All right, next one. Is it only limited to the Sharewall knowledge base, or can it be used with outside web-based knowledge bases as well?
Yeah, right now we're only integrating to Sharewell, so it's not out of the question that we integrate to other outside knowledge bases. That would be the one piece that a lot of customers have is outside knowledge bases. We don't have any canned integrations to any now, but our framework's really flexible. In fact, we're plugging it into Ivanti ITSM, and it's not a big deal to do that. So I see a future day where we do that. Probably it's going to be a customer who's looking at this that has a big knowledge base that wants us to plug into it. So if you really value, like if your biggest value is the integration with Sharewell, you're probably looking at this bot, because that's our core competency, is integrating with Ivanti Sharewell. But if if there's a common knowledge base out there you also want to integrate to, we could do that. It would probably work the same way, where you would publish those knowledge base articles into a topic in Sharewell, so you could manage it all from one place. But it conceivably, we would just pull in those records and catalog them differently. I don't know. So good question. If you're really interested in that, we can have a discussion about your knowledge base and how you work with it. And I do know on our roadmap, we are going to open up our framework to other applications. Jira is in the top of our list, and Microsoft DevOps. It's mostly for around Kanban boards and unified boards, but it will play right into Smartbot also.
And maybe that could be a POC done during a free trial too.
Yeah. If you've got a really good use case, we do free trials for all of our products, and a lot of our development comes out of those, actually. So, if you're a serious customer, you've got a serious request, a lot of times we will enhance the product to match that, because probably if you want it, other customers want it too. So our demo customers are some of our biggest influencers of the product. Second to the actual customers who bought the products, but customers who are demoing our products are usually pretty big influencers also.
Great, thanks. All right, we'll keep rolling down the list here. Can all of these things be branded, as our system has specific branding for everything, including when emails are sent out?
Yes. Yep. So you're seeing a Sharewell or a StrataCom branded bot right here, but you would brand that as your own bot. One thing we don't have right now is kind of the color palette changeability of these cards. So we're kind of just doing it all in one color palette. But if you need the color palette change, that's something we can pretty easily add in. In fact, I've really been playing a lot with those actionable messages out of Outlook. And we have quite a bit more control over those cards before we send them out than we do these bot cards. But it would be pretty easy for us to add some color palette changes and font changes or whatever you want to do. But that little icon, that's really easy to change. The name of it, you would want to change probably. And that's all contained in the bot that we actually send you. So you get a custom bot that you plug into your teams that will integrate through our framework with Sharewell. Unlike our native mobile, everybody's using the same native mobile client, StrataCom branded, but the bot's a little different. We have a lot more control over that, and it's very easy for us to create a custom bot for a customer and brand that, or they can even brand it however they want then.
All right, great. Next question. If we have the AD ID on the people record, can we use that instead of asking them to provide, so it can read the information from the people record, even if it includes both location and so forth?
Yep. Yeah, that's a good question. I kind of show that entering the user ID, but we do have access to everything in Sharewell about that customer. So if you've got something in their customer record, like their user ID, we would hard code that in the background, right? So if it's in Sharewell, it gets a little more difficult if it's not in their customer record. Like if you've got a lookup table that's holding, like I've seen some customers do like the secret questions and answers. If you did that in a separate table, we'd have to redo our framework to pull that out. But right now we do support pretty much all of those customer fields that you would hard code in. So yeah, you probably wouldn't have them enter their user ID. I actually set that up for another customer demo that's how their portal works now. So I just set it up to match their portal.
Okay, great. For knowledge article retrieval, I presume formatting is limited to rich text. Any issues with knowledge article formatting and/or images?
Right now, we have to do a little work on the formatting. You can see this one didn't get formatted quite right. I've got to go back and look at that, but it is limited to how it's stored in Sharewell. Which is kind of this, it does return it in an HTML format, but it's kind of a strange markup. So it doesn't support everything HTML, but we will make it look exactly like it looks like in Sharewell, basically.
Okay. 3 more. Can the bot transfer to live agent And then parentheses probably depends on if the organization has a live agent chat and what that software is.
Yeah, yep. So we do have some chat capabilities with Live Agent built into this bot. You can actually open a chat with an agent. We have a little web-based queuing/chat program. It's really rudimentary. We really didn't focus on that because we do have so many customers that have chat already. And this is more focused on integrating with Sharewell. We do have it. In order for it to work effectively, we'd probably have to build it out a little bit more, but it does work. It's just pretty rudimentary. It works great from the bot side. The analyst chat side it basically runs on a web page, and it's really simple. Probably what we'll end up moving to is more of a chat, bringing the actual analyst into this bot chat. So we're looking at doing that right now. In fact, we're looking at sending back messages from Sharewell. So for example, if an incident gets resolved, we're going to send a card back to the bot chat with the user so that it gets updated. So the user sees the update in the bot chat. And that's probably the direction we're going to go, is to bring an analyst in to chat with the bot, into that bot chat. So we do have it. If you're really interested in that and that's a deal breaker, I'd love to work with you on that, because all of our focus so far has just been on integrating with Sharewell, and we do have some rudimentary chat and queuing, things like that. But it hasn't been a focus. So.
All right, thank you. Next one, do you have to have the Kanban and mobile integrations to use the bot?
You do not. So you don't need Kanban or mobile to use the bot. It does run on that same framework, and you may want to manage the topics in kind of our skinny client, but you wouldn't have to pay for that or anything. That just comes with the bot. But yeah, it all runs in the same framework. So we do hook it up. The admin tool contains the administration for the native mobile and Kanban and Gantt and calendar and the bot kind of all together. But you don't have to have the other products to run the bot.
Okay. And the last question I have here is, can you show more on the designer and how you set this up?
Sure. Yeah. So I showed a little bit, but I'll run through a couple of these create, and then maybe I thought, oh, maybe I could create a different query or something really simple that would be fast to set up that we could show. But I'll show to the designer how to change the cards and things like that, because that's really simple. Like everything that we've done, we try to make it as simple as possible for the users to make their own changes. And I'll say the bot is one of the simplest things to configure outside. The workflow gets a little complex only because all workflow tools I think are a little kind of ungainly to work with, but it's all drag and drop and really simple. So if I'm in here and I want to do something specific like order a laptop, I can do that. So this is kind of this is walking me through another workflow. So what type of laptop do I want? I want the work from home laptop. What department am I in? I'm in the software development department or engineering department, and then it'll give me a specific laptop. You can just create the record. I always like to show like the user submitting it. So I'm going to have just a And of course, this will get created in Sharewell, and then if an approval needs to be generated, that'll go out into Sharewell, and it'll get approved. And I think the near future would be, once it's approved, that this chat would actually get a card back that says it was approved. But now you can see I've got my Active Directory ticket that I created before, my other Active Directory password reset ticket I created before, and then here's my my laptop, which I guess I have that categorized as call source. And you can see I don't have the location, organization, or user ID filled in here, but that was also created over in Sharewell. And if I just look at all open incidents created today, that laptop one will show up down here. And you can see I have it categorized as bring your own device, employee support, add change. I think this is a work from home user. So I categorized it that way, and it's got some information. I put in the assigned team and the priority, and knows who I am. So that ticket was created. Now, if I if I type in something like I need a laptop, and then it gets the same thing, right? So now instead of starting from that homepage screen, I'm starting from here. And most of the things I typed in previously just gave me a screen, right, that said, hey, fill this information out. But this one's actually running a workflow. So it's actually running the workflow if I want a laptop. So it's saying, hey, what kind of laptop do you want? I've got the work from home. It'll just walk me through the same kind of questions and create the laptop. So I can do the same thing if I order VPN access. If I want to do something like that, it'll just give me an order VPN access request. Put your description here. If I go back to help, I've also got this order VPN access on the home page. So you can get to it from here, or you can click on the button here. So here I'm running from the home page. I'm running a little bit different. I'm running a workflow instead of just an action. So you probably wouldn't have two different ways of filling out the software, but I just wanted to show you could have different ways of doing it and different ways of getting there. So from here, I'm just running a workflow. What type of VPN do I want? I need a home VPN, and then I just say, you could hard code the description in and just auto submit it. I always like to show a little bit of interaction with the app there. So all right, let's go back screen. Order software. So I've got some other things on here. Order software, search the knowledge base, see my approvals, see if I have any approvals in here. Yeah, so I've got an approval in here. So this will work just like in native mobile or in that action card that you saw sent out with email. I can approve or deny from here. We don't have like the change, and this one doesn't have any details or anything in it, so I don't even know what this is. But we could merge the change information into this card just like we're doing in native mobile. Pull up help. Then the other ticket I created. So now I've got these 5 tickets, right? So I've got more tickets in here. And this is actually showing resolve tickets. So if I resolve one of these incidents, I'm showing the resolve tickets. Oops, I put open ticket instead of open tickets, but it still was smart enough to. So then I've got, here's the resolved one. Oh, I didn't hide the resolve incident button if it was resolved. So that's something I could maybe show. If we wanted to remove, say, the location, organization, user ID fields off of here, we can do that. So I'm just going to pop over into the admin tool and maybe do that. So this is our admin tool. It probably looks familiar if you're on native mobile or Kanban. It's a little different. If you're on native mobile or Kanban, you can actually get to it and look at it. It's just under bot configuration. You need a lot more pieces for the bot to work, but it's a little bit newer, kind of refreshed interface. So if I just look at the object configuration for incident, I've got these queries here that I'm running, my open and my resolved incidents, and then I've got card design. So I can have multiple card designs for incidents. So I've got this my open incident card. I just got the card design. So we've got this card design that shows these are just the fields in Sharewell. Like if I didn't want to show a location, organization, user ID, and just wanted to show these, maybe I want to add something else. What would I want to add? Do I have service in here? Well, let's add service. We'll add service to this card design because that's going to be common and shown on all. I don't want to show at the bottom. Maybe show it here. I'll just save or hit OK, save there. And now this bot should pick this up right away. So if I go to help and just look at my open tickets, we can see the card design change. So you can see the bot pick that up right away, the card design. So that's how easy it is to design cards. When you actually run a query, you decide what card design you want to show. So if I actually look in my topics in here, where are my topics? All right. So these are kind of all the topics I've got for this system. It's just the topic table in Sharewell. Here's the open incident topic right here. So the way that this works is that when you add a topic, you just give it a title, which is just to identify it to you. And then you can tell the bot what to do with this topic. So you can either run an action, run a query, give a simple answer, or start a flowchart. So that's the options we have right now. That's it. So for the then you ask, say, which bot object is it? Oh, it's incident. And then it's run a query. So which incident query should I run? Well, I've only got 2 defined. I've got my open incident to resolve. So I'm going to run the my open incidents query. And then which bot card design do I want to use? I'm just going to use the my open incident. So you might show something different for resolve, right? You might show resolution code or close code or whatever's on there for the resolved query than open. So you may have a resolved button. And then there's a couple other things in here, like I can show you what those variables are used for. If it's a simple answer, you just type the simple answer right here. So this is literally, simple answers are just stored in Sharewell in the topic record. So for example, simple answer is, no, that's not a simple answer. Here, we'll just look for, where are my simple answers? Here's one. Knowledge article words, the help desk physically located. If I edit this guy, my simple answer is it's just put into the simple answer. And then we put in these example sentences. Like I said, we're moving towards more of a unlimited example sentences. So this will probably be like a related item. Right now it is stored in the topic, but we've actually got that done, the related item. We just needed to change the bot to send up the related items instead of here. But you put in the example sentences, they all get sent to Lewis. We've got a little publisher. So when you create these things, so let's create a topic for, let's do this. See my resolved incidents. Or do we have any more questions here?
Yes, we did have a few that have come in.
Okay, so I'm just gonna, let me set this up, and then I'll train Lewis to find this, and we'll see what happens. I didn't test this before. So for the object, I'm gonna pick incident. I'm gonna run the resolved incidents query. I'm just gonna use the my open incidents bot card design because that's all I have. I want to see my resolved incidents. Show me my resolved incidents. Show me incidents that are not open. So we'll train Lewis with those, just those 3 sentences, and see what he does. So I just go back into my bot admin. I go over here up to here to topics. I'd go to import train, and then I've got 40 topics right now that I'll let that plop. You can check the status, and we're done with 5 and with 7. So I'll let that upload, and Laura, hit me with a question.
All right. What if the user requests something they wouldn't have access to, such as a particular type of request or a business object they don't have access to?
Yeah, if that happens, you'll get an error message back actually from Sharewell, and it'll show up in the bot as, it'll actually display the error you get back. From Sharewell, typically it says like you're not authorized to update this object, or you're not authorized to create an incident. So whatever message we get back from Sharewell, that will come back. It is kind of difficult to hide those topics from different users because we don't, potentially if somebody really wanted to segregate topics by like customer base, we could do something with that. Right now we don't. So all the topics are out there, and all the security is controlled by Sharewell.
Okay. The next one is, we use service catalog templates for a lot of requests, which drives approval and tasks for that ticket. Will all that still work with the bot?
Yeah, all that will still work. Yep, all those templates for tasks will get created. So think about when we're creating a ticket from the API, it's essentially running all the same processes in the background that you're running when you create it from the Windows client or from the portal. So and we've got a lot of experience with that with our native mobile and Kanban boards to know that that's how it works. So, and that's how I would expect. The only caveat is if you're creating a ticket with a one-step, we would want to use that same one step to create the ticket. Like if you're doing a lot of the actions in the one step, it's pretty uncommon though to create tickets via one step in Sharewall.
Okay.
Right, so now I published this. Oh, did I publish it to prod? I'm going to publish it to prod. So I'm going to publish this to my production, Lewis, and then that'll get published. And then I can run a query against production and say, I want to see my resolved incidents. We'll see what Lewis comes back with. See my resolved incidents. So now if I go to the bot, now I've tested that. I want to see my resolved incidents. See what the bot comes back with. I want to see my resolved incidents. I only have the one. So there's my resolved incident. So I just added a new topic to Sharewell, uploaded the example questions to Lewis, and I didn't show you creating the query, but it's the same as our query editor for, we're doing ad hoc queries. Here's queries. So resolved incidents, I'm just selecting in here where status equals resolved, and then customer display name equals, and we've got these variables in here you can choose for the customer. So that's all I did to generate that query. All right, Laura, keep going.
All right, we've got one more question, and since we are at the top of the hour, I'd encourage you to put any other questions into the chat now. Eric and I will continue to run the webinar for those who have to drop. We'll continue going and answering questions and showing functionality. This will be made available by recording, so if you have to drop, you can always rewatch the recording that we're going to send out. But please do answer those, put in those questions now so that we capture those before the webinar ends. So Eric, here's your question. So this can also do request approvals as well as change approvals. For requests, we don't use the built-in Sharewall approval. We have a different approval mechanism for requests. Change, we use the standard approval from Sharewall.
Oh, interesting. Okay, so doesn't really matter as far as our bot's concerned. The one thing we can't do right now in the bot, that should be coming soon, is we can't combine those. If you're using two different approval like tables, right now we can't combine those into the same list of records. So you would have to look at your change approvals and your service request approvals separately in the bot right now. But we did just do that unified board enhancement for Kanban boards, which allows us to group objects together on the same board. And we do have plans to that to move that into, well, both native mobile and bot. So I can tell you that's coming. Right now, it doesn't matter what object you do approvals in Sharewell. We can do the approvals in the bot, no problem. I think the big issue for you is if you say, show me my approvals, we're only going to be able to show right now either change approvals or service request approvals. So we might have a topic for you. So show my change approvals and show my service request approvals, two topics. So that's how it's going to work right now.
Okay, that's all we have in the queue right now for questions.
Okay, great. I did want to, I kind of skipped over this just for the sake of time, but I have a little more enhanced flowchart capability in here that I'd created for like a VPN problem. So if somebody, so you can see, I typed in problems with my VPN and it's running this flowchart, basic VPN troubleshooting steps. So it's just saying, so it's what's wrong with your VPN. And this is fun for me because I started in 1994, my career as a knowledge engineer, like writing knowledge articles for a big help desk. And so I love writing the knowledge base articles. And one of the, we used a product called Expert Advisor and it had a knowledge tree capability that I really liked. And not a lot of other products have that. So I've kind of recreated this knowledge tree for the bot. So you can do this with the workflow editor. So it asked, so you can ask the user questions like, what's wrong? Okay, all right, I'm getting a timeout message. So as a knowledge engineer, you would have like use cases where you've got limited number of things that can be wrong with like a VPN, right? So, oh, what does it say? It says, does it say endpoint unreachable or gateway timeout, right? Those are different. So, no, it says endpoint unreachable. So then the bot comes back and says, bot, where'd you go? The bot comes back and says, sometimes my computer gets a little slow when I'm sharing out, but it'll come back. There we go. So it says the VPN service is probably just busy. You can try in a little bit or open a help desk. So if he says I'll try it again in a little bit, he says, oh, just come back and chat with me if it doesn't work again, or I can open a help desk ticket from here. and it'll say, hey, slow VPN or won't connect, right? So if I do the same thing, if it's say, hey, it's telling me I have a bad password, then I can scroll down here and it says bad pass. Sounds like you need your password reset. Would you like to open an automation ticket to reset your password? And you can do yes or no for that. Or the VPN client won't launch. So that's the other option I've got in here. Oh, I can open a VPN reinstall request. So you can plug that into your workflow. I'll just quickly show you what that workflow editor looks like. We've got flowcharts here. This is our root flowchart. This is just the one I made for basic troubleshooting steps. I can edit this and you can see, all right, we've got like the box is the question, the blue circles are the answers. And then the answers lead to more questions. And eventually you get taken to a box which is does something, right? So and an answer will take you to an action. So here's the action: create VPN incident. And this should look familiar. So what object do I want to create it against incident? What is the action? Create a VPN incident. Here's my try a little later. It just got some text in it, and then it's just the end basically of it. So you can do these flowcharts. You just drag and drop on here with you. So if you have another, what's wrong with your VPN, you can drag the user response in there, and you can flowchart some more. So it does have that flowchart capability. Sharewall doesn't really have kind of that capability built in to Sharewell to do some of that. They don't have like a knowledge tree. So, but you can take a knowledge article and you can break it down into a flowchart and you can ask user questions like this. So for really common questions like VPN access with all these people working from home, this might be something that, hey, how many help desk calls could I save if I just walk the user through these troubleshooting steps of the VPN? So we do have that capability built into this bot where you can build those in. And then, so if we look at the topic for that, object action, it would be, here's my basic VPN troubleshooting steps. So here's the topic for this action. I'm having problems with my VPN. I've got example sentences down here. You could have lots more probably. And then, what is the bot action selector? Do I run an action? Do I run a query? It's a simple answer. Do I start a flowchart? I start a flowchart. What's the flowchart I start? Do I start my root or do I start basic VPN troubleshooting steps? So you can create flowcharts and then tie them to topics, give them example sentences, upload them to those. When people search for something about VPN, you can walk them through that flowchart and have them answer those questions and then create tickets based on that. Okay, Laura, if there's no other questions, we should wrap this up so that we stay around that hour-ish time.
All right. Yeah, I don't see any other questions that have come in. So with that, I'm going to conclude the webinar. If you are interested in a free trial, please let us know. We do have a free trial program. We'd love to set that up for you. If you're interested in seeing the pricing, we can visit with that. We can visit with you about that as well. I'm going to put in here my email address just in case you don't have it handy. Feel free to reach out to me and we can follow up with you with quotes or free trial request. Once again, this has been recorded. It will be shared and we'll send that out probably mid next week. So thanks everyone for joining us today. Would love to hear any feedback you have to share on your impression of the solution as well. Thanks so much. Have a great one, everyone.
Thanks, everyone.
Okay, bye-bye.